Good morning, everybody, on the Rosie Murphy channel, and welcome to you. It's been a long time. I think something over the year since I've done an eco investment update here on the channel, which is a chance to share my thoughts on the economy, the markets, things of that nature. And the reason that I haven't shared anything is because things were in a steady state over the last years, and we've had interest rates at such a low level for so many years, for the better part of over 10 years, and on a declining path since 1980, 1981. That's a long time, 40 years of a declining trend of interest rates. That over time, the alternative investments have become difficult to find value. Cheap money has pushed values up so high in so many sectors. The amount of debt that the economy is carrying is so high that it's like a game that continues. It's like a merry-go-round, a game of musical chairs. It's all good as long as the music keeps playing, but oh boy, let the music stop. There may not be enough chairs for everybody to scramble and sit down. And 2020 in particular presents very unique challenges. Early on, we can see the challenges of dealing with a worldwide pandemic here in the Wuhan coronavirus, as well as political challenges, very polarized political parties here. As I've said many times before, when I was growing up in the 60s and 70s, there was this more genuine, gentlemanly cooperation between the parties. There was more of an ability to cross party lines for the common good and to do a lot of negotiating and find that common ground that seemed to move the country forward very well. We also have the tremendous stratification of wealth in this country, where so many of the top 1%, I believe the top 10% of the rich control 90% or own 90% of the assets of the nation. And that is often a recipe for disaster. And it's all good until things hit the skids. It's all good as long as the paychecks keep coming, people working themselves to death, two people in a household trying to sustain the standard of living, trying to cope with ever rising health insurance costs, which I am trying to do on a yearly basis as I move towards being vested in the Medicare system. It's very challenging. You can understand in people a lot less fortunate than I am the daily struggles that occur. Therefore, I think in 2020, being an election year, it's going to be very challenging for the president to be elected. A lot, of course, depends who he's running against. I neither voted for nor against Trump. I neither voted for nor against Hillary Clinton in the last election, being more of the libertarian type of my political persuasion. But I do recognize the realities of re-election for the president, and it's going to be challenging because there's a high potential that the economy could be cresting here. And instead of gaining jobs on a monthly basis, we could start to shed jobs. And that's never a recipe for political success. As we know, just look at the case of Herbert Hoover in the 1930s dealing with a depression. I'm not making any predictions on what's coming whatsoever, but I am saying when you bear this one reality in mind, that the president was elected last time by 80,000 votes in 3 states. In other words, 80,000 votes spread across 3 states was the margin of victory for him in the last election. And the question you have to ask yourself, will he carry those same 80,000 votes this time through in some of those key swing states? Well, with trade slowing down and tariff difficulties and farm prices starting to skid, it's going to be very challenging in the year 2020 for him to be elected. He has a lot of negatives for a president. For a president this deep in the term with record low unemployment, what was a record high stock market, that would seem to be a recipe for happiness and an overwhelming landslide victory. But we know such is not the case in this strange year of 2020. So let's all stay tuned and See what happens. Thanks for watching, everybody.